Hi everybody, Craig here. Welcome to episode 9 of my 1 vs 2 vs 2 Age of Wonders 3 playthrough series. In this series, I'm playing against 2 separate teams of 2 Emperor AI per team, and I'm playing as the Tigran Necromancer, Ramhotep Devilclaw. In our last episode, we successfully defended the seal location, which you can see right here. This is the seal of Apotrepion, and we were able to actually defend it against the bulk of Gamblag's forces. So Gamblag, who is, just to remind everybody, Gamblag Master of Origins is our Orc Theocrat opponent, and the only remaining member of the previous team of 2, Yizzo the Rat being Gamblag's former teammate, and of course we have Yizzo's throne city right here that we've taken control of. But in the last episode, we managed to actually beat back Gamblag himself and a bunch of his forces as he attacked the seal here. And of course, the army led by Jafsar was able to hold ground and kill off all of his units and banish Gamblag to the void. And now, as you can see, we are sitting on the doorstep of his throne city. And with Gamblag in the void, all we would have to do is kill off these evangelists and take the city, and Gamblag will be out of the game. So that's what we're probably going to try to push for this episode. However, before I dive in, I did just want to give a couple of quick shoutouts to a few individuals who left some fantastic comments on the previous episode. The first of those comments is from Death. Death pointed out that in the last episode we acquired a new sarcophagus unit. I'm just going to jump up here. I believe it is currently in the stack with Ramhotep himself. Yes, here it is. So we acquired the Sarcophagus of the Betrayed, and I was quite excited about this, mainly because this sarcophagus, which is a very interesting unit, it's both a machine and an undead unit, which is kind of a cool combination. But I was most excited about Greater Reanimate Undead, which, as you guys that have watched my content before know quite well, I really like using this ability to acquire powerful undead units for my army, and I actually did that a little bit in this series so far using Jafsar, and that's how we acquired the Dwarven Oathbringer and a few other units that are in that stack currently. But what Death is pointing out is that this sarcophagus is actually only useful kind of in certain situations, and that's because the only attack it actually has is Weakening Breath, and this has a cooldown on it, so really this sarcophagus doesn't even have a melee attack of any kind. So I do need to keep that in mind and just kind of remember that aside from situations where I'm attacking undead units that I want to recruit, maybe less useful as a unit. And I think that's an important point to remember here. Although it does look like that at elite rank, it does gain zombification, which could be kind of cool. So just a reminder that this unit is exciting, but it's also got some drawbacks. The next comment here is from Ivan Rockland. Ivan suggested that I should consider using Lost Souls to do some scouting for me, and I think that's a great idea. I was actually trying to figure out what I should switch my spell casting over to, because I don't think I really need Dark Ritual anymore now that I've at least managed to kind of hold off the forces of Gamblag, and I'm going to very shortly be able to hopefully take him out of the game, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. But I don't think I desperately need a set of cadavers at any of my cities just at this exact moment. Although it's, it wouldn't be the worst thing ever to do, as I do have a few cities, as you saw, that really don't have any units at them. And it might actually be nice to do down here, maybe, and then send them over to guard the seal. The only problem is, of course, cadavers are going to decay. But anyway, I digress. I like Ivan's suggestion, and I think that would actually prompt me as well to try to research Undead Plague, which I could then use to siphon off population from any cities that I encounter with my scouts. So this is a really good early game combination. If you have Lost Souls and Undead Plague, you can grow your cities quite aggressively very early in the game. The next suggestion here, the next comment is from Thomas Hazelwood. Thomas pointed out that the AI probably did the math on this battle and thought it could win, and I completely agree. I think that's why Gamblag committed the bulk of his forces there, and thankfully we were able to kind of prove the math wrong on that one. So the next comment is from Civ5 Addict. Civ5 pointed out that one of my unmet opponents is actually currently... whoops, wrong tab there. We want victory conditions. Is actually currently, and you can see it right here, sitting on a seal location and will, as of next turn, be acquiring charges. So, again, Eagle Eye from Civ 5 there. I'm assuming that he probably noticed that it popped up here in my notifications that the seal of Veve Falanaxar here has been taken and is in the control of one of my unknown opponents right now. So, good reminder there. And what this means for me is that I need to make sure that I maintain control of Apotrepion in the meantime, given that my opponent will be piling up charges here. So I need to make sure that I maintain control of this one so that I don't end up falling behind, because there's no guarantee that I'm going to be able to find my opponent and get rid of their control of that other seal location in time. So that gives me a good reminder. And again, great catch there from Civ 5. And then a comment here from My Brain Hurts. Brain pointed out that with the Tome of Wonders here, in order to find the thing I was looking for last episode, I can go down to hero upgrades. So that the idea was I wanted to be able to plan out my hero's progression. So you go to hero upgrades. I would choose the class of hero I'm interested in. So in this case, like a Necromancer hero. And then I would specify the level. So at level 9, you can see right here, it shows the cost. So this would have helped me plan things out a little better. Inflict Ghoul Curse is going to cost 7, and Shadow Step is going to cost 4. So this is a great way, and a good example here, Brain was pointing out with the Archdruid to make sure that I'm paying attention to the upgrades that you get access to at level 11 and also at level 13. So you can see here that at level 11 we get access to Regrowth, which is extremely powerful, as well as Call Lightning, which is, again, a very strong ability. So I want to make sure that I save up enough points for the things that I want. And thanks to Brain, I now have a better grasp of how to manipulate the Tome of Wonders to get what I need out of it. So, as always, big thank you to everybody for the fantastic comments. Extremely appreciated, guys. So let's dive in, because, again, I'm really itching to get this fight going and see if I can eliminate Gamblag from the game here. Now, the big question was, unfortunately, I'm not able to have any of my other units join in for the fight here. They just don't have any movement left to be able to do it. And that includes the Lost Soul. I can't quite get it there either. So all we would have for this siege would be my main stack here with Jafsar, which, again, as you can see, they have taken some punishment. So they're going to be in a little bit rough shape when we initiate the battle. Mind you, the only thing we're fighting against is going to be the Orc Evangelist. Now, the one key here is that they do have Turn Undead, which could potentially be a problem for me, as, again, I am commanding an army of undead units. The nice thing, though, is that their conversion ability will not be effective against me because my units are undead. So there's kind of a bit of a give and take there. They also don't have a ranged attack, which means that the only damage I'm going to be taking until I get behind the walls is going to be from Blood Pavilion. So, and that does do quite a bit of damage, so I will have to be careful. But I think we can do this one. So let's initiate the battle. We'll use our chariot here. It is saying probable defeat, but I think we can handle ourselves. We've already demonstrated the, or I guess we've proven the math wrong once. Let's see if we can do it again. Yeah, and they're going to buff each other, which is a wise move. Yep. Okay, so first things first. With Jafsar, we're going to want to buff our chariot. And then our muse, we can do the exact same thing here. So let's advance up with the muse and the chariot. And then my plan is to throw on Lion's Courage. And then next turn as well, drop a heal. The Oathbreaker we want to get up and over the walls. Although, you know what? Maybe I should have thrown Lion's Courage onto the Oathbreaker now that I think about it. Meanwhile, the Ghast, unfortunately, cannot climb the walls, so will be of slightly less use to me. But if I can get... Ooh, and there's Blood Pavilion hitting my Oathbreaker, unfortunately. Oh, and look at this. They're going to come out to play. Well, isn't that interesting? I wasn't expecting them to do that, so... That actually does make my life perhaps a little bit easier. Again, I do need to watch out for the Turn Undead that they're going to likely throw at me. Alright, so now we can kind of... Well, let's see. What are our odds of getting a throw net? Probably not great. I think we'd probably be better off just doing some damage. So, let's step a little closer. Oh yeah, big damage. There we go, that's great. Our Ghast can get involved here. And again, we have the ability to revive our units if they go down, at least a few of them anyway. So I can play it a little bit more aggressive, perhaps. Jafsar does have currently the ability to use stiffen limbs on a few of my these opponents, so that's not the worst idea. I have plenty of mana to spare, so why don't we start doing that, perhaps? Throw it on this one. Just make my life that much easier. We'll throw the Oathbreaker up here in defense mode, and then the Chariot we can... Oh yeah, big damage here, actually, which is great. And then I think we might... Well, the question now is, do I want to charge in there and do some hefty damage or sit back? I'm not going to get a charge benefit if I go in, but I mean, we have 100% spirit protection on the Chariot, so I'm not really too concerned. I'm just going to go in real aggressive. Yeah, there we go. Okay, Blood Pavilion doing some damage. Okay, they turned my... Oh, and there goes my poor Ghast, who I'll have to try to revive when I have a chance. But what I'll do with Jafsar is I will move into position to be able to do that. And then what I can do is start dishing out some punishment here. So let's first do this. So there's that kill. Fantastic. The Oathbringer can do some pretty hefty damage as well. Very nice. Almost dead, and then we should be able to get, absolutely, the finish with the Muse. No problem at all there. Excellent. And then what we can do next is probably blast for some damage. Oh, no, and we got the crit. Oh, okay, good. I was going to say, I actually didn't want the critical there because I want the opportunity to revive my Ghast. So, thankfully, we didn't get the kill, and then, perfectly, our Ghast can come back and get the finish. Excellent. Yeah, we almost, you know, and I hesitated to do that attack just because I was worried about the critical, but thankfully it worked out for me. Look at this, we got some extra knowledge and population from Whispers of the Fallen, which is always a good thing. And just like that, Gamblag, Master of Origins, has lost, so in turn 29, we captured his throne city, and of course he was in the void. So that's fantastic. That's one less of our opponents to have to worry about. And this team of 2 has officially been eliminated from the game. Not to mention, we now have control of another throne city, which is going to be quite useful for us here. So let's just take a look at what it already has. So we've got a barracks, Builder's Hall, Temple. Siege Workshop does have a War Hall, so not bad at all. All right, let's convert it over to... Yeah, let's go Ghoul Tigrans, single turn. Sure, why not? And then, you know what? We'll move Jafsar in just to grab the items. Oh, and look at that. We've got a holy symbol and a melee weapon here. So, let's see. Hero Slayer and Armor Piercing versus a little bit of spirit damage. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a wash. Let's see if any of our other heroes are missing melee weapons. I do notice that Leandra currently doesn't have... I mean, Backstab isn't bad, but... Well, you know, if you can get a flanking hit, that is pretty decent. But I think we'll send it over to her at least, just to give her perhaps slightly better, arguably slightly better item. Just seeing, does everyone else have a black wand already? Yes, they do, because Jafsar currently has 2. So this might be one to send to Ramhotep, actually. Give him some more ranged options. So we already have quite a few ranged options with Jafsar there. So, yeah, let's send this one to Ramhotep. And, yeah, so that takes care of that team of 2, like I said. So that's excellent. So now we can retreat back, group up, heal up, and yeah, we can kind of solidify our grip on this bottom right corner of the underground, as you can see here. So very, very nice there. And oh, and Embrace Darkness is now finished, which that was actually the other thing I was thinking of switching over to. So I actually think I am going to do that. Let's switch over to Embrace Darkness. We'll get that out next turn, and we can start putting that on our cities where we're producing the most of our, the bulk of our units. Oh, and up here we also have our Druid and her stack. So We can do this battle with these halflings, so let's do that. We do have to be a little bit careful as some of our units are fairly beat up. And I would prefer not to lose anybody if I can avoid it. So, I think we'll use our raptor just because our raptor has quite a lot of health. Snapper crab's a little worse for wear at the moment. So we have a Gallowglass, an adventurer, and an adventurer. All right. So the Lost Soul, we're going to advance up kind of aggressively. And then what we'll do is we will Nourishing Meal our raptor. The only thing we have to watch out for is I believe they have Animal Slayer. Yeah, which is going to be a bit of a problem for me. So we will move our Snapper Crab around back here just to provide a bit of protection. And then thankfully this cheetah is pretty decent for health. So we'll move the cheetah up. And then the raptor can kind of sit in reserve here. This cheetah is again in pretty rough condition, so we'll move back. Lost Soul we can kind of sacrifice if need be there. Yep, okay. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Alright, that worked out pretty well for us, actually. So now we can do a combination of things here. So we can attack the Gallowglass for a little bit of damage. And then now the big question is, what does the most damage here? Yeah, that's not really that helpful for us. With the cheetah, I think we probably want to just try to maybe kill the adventurer. Alternatively, we could pounce on them, which I actually don't mind. So maybe we'll do that. Yeah, there we go. That's great. A little bit of life steal. And that's pretty helpful. Now, this cheetah we also need to keep in mind here. I don't know how much damage we would do with the Sun Disc. So let's just take one step back and take a peek here. Yeah, not great. Not a ton. So this is going to do a minimum of 4, maximum of 8 per hit. And of course, Lucky might mitigate some of that. This is probably our most damaging attack, but of course there's the chance Lucky could disrupt it. There's also a pretty good chance this is going to reduce the movement of the unit as well, or a reasonable chance, I should say. So what else do we have here? We do have Root Spears, let's see. Yeah, that's not bad, but I actually think it would be better to do the Musket Shot. Nice, and a critical. Oh, that's huge. Yeah, that helps us out tremendously. And then can we charge? Yes, we can. Oh, we didn't quite get the kill, but we were close. Yeah, and the Snapper Crab will stay back. You know what? We could move in and get the Pounce, I suppose. That is going to put us at risk of the Adventurer killing us, but... Oh, yeah. A little bit of lifesteal might make the difference. We'll see. Okay, that's fine. Yep, no problem there. Actually, we're in pretty good shape now, so... Between all of our units, we should be able to take out the Adventurer without too much difficulty, I think. Of course, I don't want to get ahead of myself. Let's use our Sprint, get in behind. We could probably just get the kill outright, but so before we do that, let's use our Awakened Spirit at least. And then... Perfect, there we go. So that worked out pretty well for us. A little bit more knowledge, a little bit more population, some more experience, and a little bit of gold. And this looks like a dead end at an inn, so I think we'll probably avoid that. And maybe start heading to the north here. This is where it would be good for me to have some scouts ahead of me so that I'm not wasting my hero's movement unnecessarily. So that's something I definitely need to get going ASAP. Let's see here. Just want to... And then, yeah, we need to start grouping up units onto the seal. And that's actually very... I'm very glad that I have these units moving into assist. I can group them up in the stack and try to at least defend against some of those units that are going to spawn at the seal location. The elemental units that will actually appear there. Alright, let's see who else we've got here for... Okay, this army was moving down to assist as well. Actually, that's great. I can move them down as well. Kind of help out in this area. Head to the city, at least for now. What we might do is send the Mystic over to this stack here. And so there's the Mystic. And then the Archer can head to the city to provide some defense there. All right, well, let's see. Is there anything else we have left to do up top? I don't think so. Yeah, we've kind of moved Ramhotep. The Lost Soul we're using as a scout over there. Yeah, I think we're in good shape. So let's choose our research choice here. And again, we have 96 currently to spend. So what we could do, actually, this would be, I think, pretty nifty. If we take one of these options that's only 60, we can still get one of these ones a turn faster. So if I were to, like I said, let's say I choose Dispel, that would leave me with 36 plus the 90, which would be enough to get Undead Plague next turn as well. And Undead Plague is the one that I think I'd like to get my hands on, because I am going to try and use my scouts a little bit more to see if I can get eyes on some additional cities. So let's do that. We'll grab Dispel, because again, I might want to use this to kind of try to cheese Inflict Ghoul Curse a little bit, now that we have access to it, of course. So we'll grab Dispel. And now, like I said, there we go. We can grab Undead Plague, and it's still only going to take us that one extra turn, so that's fantastic. Yeah, I'm going to grab Undead Plague. So we'll have that next turn. And then we'll do our production choices here. So Toongale, we did move off a number of our defenders, so let's just restore a few of them with some additional archers there. This stack can move back, but not forward, so not really too concerned. We'll move the Lost Soul up one, I guess, and then we'll tell them to just relax where they are. And that's going to do it for our turn, so we will end it there. Don't know if a whole lot's going to happen, because we don't currently have... that is to say, a whole lot while the turn is flipping over, because we don't currently have eyes on our opponents. Now, something else I'm going to need to make sure I do, because I don't want to forget about this. I need to reclaim my lost city over here. So, might be worth maybe rallying some of these troops that are down here to head up that way. The other option would be to perhaps send Jafsar up that direction, on his way kind of back into the battle here, because he's kind of now deep in the corner, and he's going to need to sort of get out into the forefront of battle here. All right, so let's send the Gendarme over here to help with the defense. The Big Beetle I might actually want to keep mobile, just because it does have tunneling, which I may need to actually take advantage of. And then we can also send this Mystic over to help. The Archer I'm going to send just to help defend the city, I think, along with the Shredder. And then, in the meantime, this city can continue to produce units, so let's maybe do a Sun Guard or two. We can send them over. Either that or maybe another Chariot. But I'm thinking a Sun Guard wouldn't be a bad choice there. When somebody completed Eternal City, I just noticed. That's... Yeah, so the first to own a Metropolis, not really a surprise, given that undead cities do grow a little bit more slowly. So, in a way, I'm not surprised that someone else managed to get it, rather than me. So Embrace Darkness is ready to go, so we want to figure out which city to throw that on. Probably Foog, and maybe then also onto Necras, because both of those cities, Necras in particular, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I have the Magic Academy, so the Tigran Mystics that I produce out of there will be a little bit stronger. So that would be a good one to potentially throw that on as well. Alright, so then what else? So we've already got two kind of beefy cavalry units, a support. So maybe one more support and a Sun Guard can go over there. Wouldn't be the worst idea. And then, so that's going to give us 2 and 3, so that's almost a stack, and then maybe one of the units that comes out of here can head over and join. And in the meantime, we can create a little kind of miscellaneous group to head up and maybe try to reclaim our fallen city up there. I kind of like that idea. Cabalg here, we have to figure out what we want to do, so I think we'll go for the standard, get a Harvester's Guild and an Embalmer's Guild up and running, just to get that city growing and make it better if we need to produce anything there. The big beetle, like I said, I might want to keep it mobile just because it can tunnel. So I don't think I'm going to send it down to join in. Although, again, it would be nice to have this stack kind of fully, well, to have more units there because these, you know what, maybe we could send, the Shredder can't quite get there. I was going to say these elementals could spawn any turn now, and I really don't want them to ambush my half-ready squad. So maybe I should... You know what? I think I'll have to risk it for another turn. I suppose I could get the Lost Soul down there, but I actually think the Lost Soul might be better off in this other stack. So, yeah, you know what? We'll risk one more turn, and we'll send... I mean, it might bite me in the butt, but at this point, that's what we're going to do. And we'll send this stack up there and head over to see if we can reclaim what we've lost up there. And the big beetle, I think, will have join in as well. Here we go. Okay, Jafsar now. What to do with Jafsar? So, if we zoom out, there is a cave exit that goes up above ground over here. So that might be worth looking into. Take a look. So that would take us up here, which I have no idea what's in that area at all. That could be kind of fun. Might actually be worth scouting, so maybe we even send our little shredder up that way just to at least take a peek and see what we can see. Okay, it looks like it's in kind of a frozen area. There is a Hall of the Forefathers, which might be nice to try and use our Ghoul Curse. Maybe get a Yeti or two, which are pretty decent tier 3 units. So that could be worth. We'll do a little bit more scouting with him since he's up there. And that's going to help us decide if we want to send Jafsar up that way. You know, I don't hate that idea. That's not a terrible plan. Because I think we have enough army down here to clear out some of these other structures. Would be nice to get rid of this beast den. So maybe this army that I'm kind of assembling can kind of just play cleanup down here. I think that's probably what I'll do. You know what? What the heck? Let's send Jafsar this way. Oh, and you know what? He can babysit this on his way by. Yeah, that actually works out pretty well. So we'll babysit this with Jafsar on his way by, and then he can head over and climb up this cave exit. Maybe even clear out a few of these structures on his way through. Yeah, that's actually... I like that. That works out pretty well for me. Alright, so yeah, Necras has that now. So again, the Mystics. But I think we will throw Embrace Darkness onto Oog, because we are making units out of there. And then let's perhaps do a loss. Actually, let's corrupt the source, because I remember we have this in, and it wouldn't be bad to get that converted over. And then maybe we can do a Lost Soul. Boy, yeah, this is actually... having more casting points wouldn't be so bad as well. So that's something I might want to do soon, just to speed up some of this the spell casting. So I've got all these spells I want to cast, and I just don't have enough capability at the moment. Our Druid here, I think, like I said, we're going to head this way. See what we find. Ooh, there's a Lost Library that might be worth exploring. The only unfortunate thing with this stack is we don't really have very powerful units in here, so we may need to almost regroup and get some stronger units. This we could definitely clear out. Some knowledge scrolls there. That wouldn't be bad. Let's head back up above ground and grab Ramhotep. So with Ramhotep here, we can head underground, which would take us right here. But I don't know if that's really where we necessarily need to go. So maybe before we commit to moving Ramhotep, let's actually... I was going to head up the water, but let's see if maybe we can go through this forest instead. See what we find down here. Okay, so there's a pretty solid mountain range, but then there's a road over here. So it wouldn't be bad to figure out... Why do we have vision on this? I'm not entirely sure why we have vision on the Thurix here. That's interesting. But we do, so we can head over that way and see when hopefully we'll encounter one of my opponents. It's entirely possible that they are in the Shadow Realm, because if I remember correctly, I selected a Shadow Elf and a Draconian opponent, so we will have to see where they are. but I wouldn't be at all surprised if they're in the Shadow Realm. Then the question becomes, where do I go with Ramhotep? I could head down here and clear out these gold mines at the very least, and then maybe head this way. Just kind of panning around to see what else there is. I think we cleared out the Ancient Rune and the... Yeah, that stuff's all cleared out. So... the terrain in here is not ideal for me, but... Alright, we'll head down into there, and then we can start clearing out these structures. And then kind of meet up over here somewhere. That'll work. Let's see. Ooh, we have our Cathedral of Bone in our throne city, so that's fantastic. I think we now have access to... Not quite. We have to do the Great Temple first. So let's do the Great Temple. We're going for the Palace, because why not? Let's see. What else do we have? So Toongale produced a Skeletal Archer. Let's do one more just to have an additional ranged unit on the city. We'll have 3 to guard it. That should be plenty. I did see roaming units in and around here, so wouldn't be bad to have. It's going to about do it for that above ground stuff, I think. And our Druid's done its thing. I think Jafsar's kind of done his thing. All right. I think we'll end our turn there, but let's choose our next research option. Ooh, look at this. Animate Ruins. Now, this is a great one. You can raise a city and then immediately turn it into the undead for you. Bring it back as an undead city, a Gould city. So that's really cool. Definitely wouldn't mind having that. But at this point, I actually just want some additional casting points. So let's grab Necromancy, and then next turn we'll have a little bit more casting points. Kind of keep working our way up. And over here, why don't we work on the city a little bit, since we don't have an immediate pressing need for units. Although, as I say that, you know, it wouldn't be so bad to maybe produce a unit or two here. Alright, you know what we'll do? We'll make one Mystic who's going to get the benefit of the newly produced Magic Academy, like I mentioned. We'll make one Mystic, and then we'll start developing the city a little bit more. Meanwhile, this guy can just hang out. That's going to do it. So we'll end it there. You know, I'm actually really glad I sent Jafsar over here, even though it's going to be a little bit till he's able to get over here. At the very least, he helps babysit the seal for me, and gives my other units a chance to join into the stack. Kind of reinforce the position a little bit. Oh, and look at this. There's some independent units here. So these are clearly the former units belonging to Gamblag. So I don't think they're a threat to me. I don't think they're going to try to take the city from me. But I should keep an eye on them, that's for sure. We'll move in there. So now we've at least got a pretty decent stack there to help defend. And again, I'm going to add in this Sun Guard as well. Just have a little bit more there. And one thing I suppose I could do is head back and attack this stack. Finish them off and maybe recruit a few of them. The Crusader, unfortunately, has 100% Spirit Protection, meaning that I can't use Ghoul Curse. So, yeah, I think I'm just going to leave that stack alone. Again, I don't think they will capture the city. They're different from the roaming units that are the red ones, I'm pretty sure, like the bandits and whatnot that will try to attack my cities, because this is an army that used to belong to one of my opponents. So I think they are kind of a different category, if you will, of independent. I guess we'll find out, though, if I'm wrong on that one. All right, so yeah, let's head down this way. Ooh, nice. Corrupt the Source is ready to go. So let's move up and throw that on the inn. Nice, and we turn it into a haunted inn. So now we get a little bit of gold, a little bit of mana, some undead population, and if we walk a unit over there, we have the opportunity to recruit some potentially undead or undead beneficial units. So that would be really cool. And then this unit, we can continue to move over. And the big question is, are we strong enough to win this battle? So we got a Draconian Sacrificed, which is an undead Draconian unit that has Despair Strike. Very cool. Melee attacks have a chance to cause despair. That's neat. Projectile resistance, and they have Absorb Pain. Wow. All right. What else do we have? Skeleton Warrior, a Ghost, Skeleton, and a Tomb Guardian. Very cool. Oh, it's considered an elemental unit. Isn't that interesting? Wow, okay. So, and wow, and it's considered reinforced. It's a little bit intimidating, ever so slightly. But I think we probably can handle this. So let's at least get in there and see what we can do. Now, the only tricky part here is that our lifesteal isn't going to be effective because we're facing off against the undead. So, although the Tomb Guardian is an elemental rather than being undead. So, we do have to be careful because we can't rely on that in this instance. Cadaver can advance. Mystic can go right up the middle here along with our Lost Soul. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. Yeah, it's all kind of melee-focused units, so I think we can probably just kind of pull them into a engagement here. Move our Mystic over. Blast the Ghost for a little bit of damage. And then just kind of advance around here. So let's see if they decide to... Okay, there goes the Ghost trying to attack me. Yeah, and as I said, the lifesteal did work against the Tomb Guardian purely because the Tomb Guardian is a living unit as opposed to the rest. So, oh, we can kill the Ghost here pretty easily, so let's do that. Perfect. And then we can blast the Tomb Guardian for, I guess, a little bit of damage here at least. Absorb Pain is active, so the Sacrificed is going to be causing a bit of issue for us. Tempted to maybe go and attack the Sacrificed here. The only problem is that's going to leave the Sun Guard open to a flanking shot. So I think what we'll do is we'll park right there in defense mode, and then we'll do the same with the Cadaver. The Big Beetle, I don't want to get in there until I have to, so we'll leave it as is. And then we might as well hit the Tomb Guardian for at least a... Oh, you know what? Can we steal? Oh, we can't. That's too bad. I was going to say it'd be hilarious if we could steal the... Yeah, and that's not going to work either. Break control. If we could steal that Absorb Pain, that would have been funny. We'll do a little bit of damage, though. Nice. The Cadaver did a good job. And again, because it's a gold medal Cadaver, it does have Resurgence, so I don't have to worry about... the fact that I lost it there. Now, the Lost Soul, again, can also die because it does have Undying, so that's fine. So let's kill this skeleton if we can. Perfect. And now, the Mystic, I'm kind of thinking what we do here. That's interesting. The Tomb Guardian got its health back. I wonder why. Actually, maybe we never did... Well, no, we did do some damage, so I'm not sure why... the Tomb Guardian got its health back. Interesting. Alright, well, what we could do is use our Werepanther and go full melee onto the Tomb Guardian here. And I think that's probably what we're going to do. The other option is our Big Beetle can get involved, which I actually don't hate that option. Let's try that, maybe. Yeah, there's a little bit of flank damage. And then we can help out with some... Yeah, you know what? I like that better. Let's do that. Oh, nice. Critical hits. That's great. Yeah, we're in good shape now. Lost Soul doing its thing. Nice. Big Beetle's got the kill there. We can try and heal somebody up if needed, but we don't really need to. So instead, what we might do is use our Sun Guard here for some flank damage. So let's... Well, you know what? We might as well at least... get some extra experience because we can. So there's a heal, a little bit of experience, 4 out of it, and then perfect. There's the kill. Just like that, nobody died, and we got control of our city back, which is exactly what we needed. So that's going to help boost our income a little bit, which is exactly why we wanted that back. And you know what? Let's do an Embalmer's Guild there just to get the growth of the city going. That would be nice if we can expand it to get this Ancient Ruins. We could actually build the Pillar of the Stylites and have improved Tigran Sun Guard come out of there, which wouldn't be so bad. All right. So just double check everybody else. Okay, our Druid can move, so let's advance over here. And yeah, we should be able to handle this battle without too much difficulty. And then we can also head over and clear out the Watchtower. So let's do that. We do have to watch out for that plain-touched goblin, which of course can explode. Or I should say will explode when it dies. Alright. Alright, let's see if we can do this cleanly. Plain-touch goblin we want to kill. Preferably here. It's not gonna... That's not gonna cut it. So what we might do is step up like this. Do that. And then this, and hope we don't get a bad roll. Perfect. We got the critical. That's even better. Lost Soul can at least go tie up the Wisp, maybe. Then between the rest of our units, we should be able to handle everything else. So the Apprentice, we can turn around. And then we can flank in for some big damage and get the kill and the level up. Very, very nice. Snapper Crab can advance up as well. And the Cheetah can just hang back. Again, not in the greatest of condition. Nice, okay, and the, as you can see, the Lost Soul died, but that's totally fine. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually move the Cheetah up and drop a heal on the Cheetah. Perfect. And then we should be able to get the finish here. I think we can flank around behind. Nice. Okay, and a level up for our Snapper Crab, which is great. And then we can get the finish here with... Now let's get it with the Raptor. Perfect. We did take a little damage there from that, but that's all right. Nice, and there's some extra knowledge. Look at that, 109 extra knowledge. That's fantastic. All right, now we will advance, and we can clear out this Watchtower just to get some extra vision. And look at that, a tomb underground here. Wouldn't be bad getting Ramhotep over here. Try and recruit some more units. As long as it's not too far out of Ramhotep's way. So maybe we actually should go underground, and then we can head up to that tomb. All right. I think this will be a fairly straightforward battle. We'll advance like this. We can throw our... Yeah, and there's a little bit of fire weakness there, so we can do that. And then... Oh yeah, big damage here. Let's do that. Nice. And then we can step up with our Cheetah. Perfect. In between the rest of our units, I think we'll be fine. Green Raptor can charge right in there, but maybe our Cheetah do a bit first. Oh, and look at that. With Bloodthirsty, we the Cheetahs inflicted bleeding wounds, and then the Raptor had Bloodthirsty, which really helped us out along with the critical. That was a perfect combo. I didn't even intend for that, and it worked out pretty well for us. We'll step up and do a bit of damage with our crabs. Ouch, bit of fire damage there, but again, not a huge problem. We can drop an ice heal. And then we want to get in and around behind. So we'll do that to flank here. And then let's get the finish with the Snapper Crab for the extra experience. Very nice. Look at that. Big boost to our underground. Oh, and look at this. There's also a Haunted Boneyard. Oh, and look at this. A Poltergeist. Very cool. It's like a haunted set of armor and weapons. Haunt machinery. Attempts to take control of target construct. Wow, that's pretty cool. So I guess that works on other machines, perhaps. So they're floating. They have a shield. They're incorporeal. Armored. Makes sense. It's a suit of armor. And it's considered a support unit, which means if I get control of it, it would give me... it would gain heal undead. That's pretty cool. And then, of course, Wraith, which is a really powerful unit. I actually think the Wraith King is one of my all-time favorite units in this game. That's the Tier 3 version of this unit. But the standard Wraith is also pretty good. So, yeah, there's multiple opportunities here for me to recruit some undead from the tomb and from the boneyard. So, not to mention, we could even, if we're really feeling spicy, we could go for the Lost City. But I think we're probably not quite strong enough for that just yet with Ramhotep. And then, of course, the Lost Library down there needs to be cleared out. All right, what to do with my druid then? That's the only other question. Unfortunately, it does kind of look like this is a bit of a dead end with this lava right here. So maybe we turn around. Wouldn't mind seeing what's over here, though. I don't really want to commit my druid to going all the way over there, though. That's the only thing. So maybe what we do instead is we head back down here, or we just go back. Yeah, it's kind of a tough call. I think we'll head this way. Unfortunately, not enough to get to the haste berries. We'll head down here and see if we can maybe clear out the Lost Library, depending on how well defended it is. Yeah, this is where, again, me having a lack of scouting in that area is actually hurting me quite a bit right now. All right, Cabal, we're going to do an Embalmer's Guild, get that going. Then, yeah, we're almost done that one. So for casting, let's do a Lost Soul and get those scouts up and running. And then we also want to get Embrace Darkness on Necras eventually. All right, above ground. All right, so Ramhotep, again, the big question, do we want to head underground or not? Well, let's see what's down this way maybe before we commit to doing that. I do see the outline of what looked like an independent city there that I kind of quickly breezed by. So next turn we'll turn back and see if we can encounter them at least. But we do have ourselves a ziggurat over here. In the meantime, though, we might as well at least do this battle since we're right here anyway. So we can engage it with one of our nightmares. And Ramhotep is at level 8, so we do need to get him up to level 9 so that he can get Inflict Ghoul Curse. Let's see how close he is. Now, he's reasonably close, but he needs to get a little bit more experience. So this is where we can use our sarcophagus here to, yeah, blast all of the units for some pretty hefty damage. Our Mystic can step up and do a pretty reasonable amount of damage there. Very good. Step up and get the kill. And then tie up this one as well. Here's the kill. And then what we'll also do is attack with our Hellhounds, and then we can probably just get the finish, yeah, with Ramhotep, no problem. So there we go. Some nice experience there. A tiger. You know what? I am going to take this, and I'm going to use the tiger as a scout. Head over this direction. Oh, and look at that. We've got a watchtower. The tiger can scout over there. Meanwhile, the Lost Soul can go this way. That'll work out pretty well for me. And speaking of scouting, let's see what else our little Shredder here can see. Again, I hadn't initially intended on him being a scout, but that's kind of what he's become. So a couple of different Hall of the Forefathers here. And then, of course, the Well of Souls. Not to mention another watchtower. So, yeah, I'm actually pretty happy with having Jafsar head down this way once he has the movement left. So let's just pan to the rest of our forces here. Yeah, those guys are just defending the cities. Ramhotep, as I mentioned, I think we're going to just send him underground to go and collect the extra undead. Again, my big fear, though, is that this is going to dead end. And I'm not seeing a pathway back above ground, although it's certainly possible that there's something there. That said, I mean, I'm going to get access to a number of decent undead units here, so hopefully I can build up a pretty good army. So either way, I mean, I think it'll be fun, even if it's not maybe the most effective way to decision to make. I'm going to enjoy it, so I'm going to do it. We're going to send our stack underground, have them move over there. Okay, and now with this army that claimed the city, we also want to figure out where the rest of those... Oh, and they probably came... They might have came from this necromantic circle, so that's something we need to clear out with this army once we're able to. So, yeah, we definitely want to do that. And then, as I mentioned, we also want to defend this city from this beast den. It's only a matter of time till this gets captured, so... Alright, let's do maybe a research choice, because I think I've moved everybody. And we have a big chunk of knowledge ready to go. So we could just do Produce Reanimator right now if we really wanted to. Alternatively, we could do Animate Ruin and Stiffen Limb. You know, that's actually pretty appealing. Stiffen Limb is obviously a great spell to use, and then Animate Ruin comes in handy as well. Especially if you pair this with plundering a city. That gives you a lot of additional resources, a lot of gold. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to do that. We'll do Animate Ruin, Stiffen Limb. And then now we have to decide what comes next. So with that 7, we could actually do Produce Reanimator and have it in a single turn. Same goes for Rugged Pioneers or Corpus Furia. You know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to do Produce Reanimator, and I'll have it next turn. That actually worked out super well. As for Foog here, now that we have Embrace Darkness, I think I am going to continue producing some extra units. If not... Well, yeah, you know what? Because I need more forces to help clear out some of the stuff up here. So let's maybe do a... We're going to be doing the healers, the support units up here in Necras. So let's get some kind of melee units going in Foog. So we'll do a Sabertooth Chariot. All right, up to Toongale. We're running a little low on gold, so I don't want to go too crazy, but this might be a good opportunity for an observatory, actually, to expand our the domain of the city. It is going to grow in 5 turns, but that'll get us the Ancient Ruins a little bit faster. And yeah, this army is going to just stay put on the seal. And just to double check, so now it's interesting because it's not showing me the number of seal points that the enemy has. I'm assuming that that means... Well, I'm not sure, actually. It might not be showing it to me just because I haven't encountered them yet. That could be the reason. Because it does appear that they actually own the seal of Veve Fallon Axar there. But we'll have to see. Once we encounter them, we'll check that again to see if they are actually acquiring the seal points, which I'm sure they are, the charges. And if that's the case, then I have to make sure that I actually encounter them relatively soon, just to make sure they're not ahead of me. And I don't think they are, but it is possible, so you need to watch out for that. All right, we'll end it there. That's where getting these additional scouts going is going to be all the more important. We will probably have to venture into the Shadow Realm to find at least one of our 2 opponents. Remaining opponents, that is. All right, any other developments here? I'm just kind of looking around. Doesn't seem like it. I'm wondering if the elementals are going to spawn. Okay, so these animal units captured my watchtower. A hero has offered to join us. Ooh, a level 4 sorcerer with a flying mount would like to join. Sheila the Spoiled. Let's see. Show me your talents. So, hero does have flying mount, of course. Otherwise, nothing too crazy that I'm seeing here. So, yeah, I'm happy to take a sorcerer hero. Absolutely. Especially with a really good mount like that. There, as you can see, the Gold Wyvern mount, a mythical level mount. Very, very cool. And, ooh, and I should say we get to level up the hero as well. So, I think Magic Affinity wouldn't be bad. Ooh, actually, Spirit Shield would be great as well. That's quite helpful for our undead units. So we'll take that. We'll take Charged Army. And we'll take Magic Affinity, I think. Dragon Slayer Party, it's kind of niche, but that could come in handy against Dragon and Draconian units. So, you know what? This would be really good, actually. Oh, you know what? This would be great against our Draconian opponents. You know what? I am going to take it. It's also going to be helpful if we end up in the Shadow Realm, because there are often dragons in the Shadow Realm. So, not to mention Draconians. Actually, that's perfect. Like, this is an excellent hero for me to have at this point. I have to figure out where to send this hero, mind you, but this might be one to go underground and join up with some of those forces that I have in that bottom corner doing some clearing. All right, a number of items have arrived, so we have a holy symbol there, bow, crossbow, and the melee weapon there, which I think I am going to actually equip. Even though the backstab is decent if you're using the hero to get flanks, but I will sell that off. All right, perfect. All right, so now with Ramhotep, we want to just kind of make a beeline for the undead up here. Try to make some new friends. Meanwhile, with Leandra, you know, I don't know. I don't feel great about trying out this Lost Library, to be perfectly honest. But I suppose we could... You know, in a way, I'm actually tempted to send her back up above ground and try to maybe get her some better units, because we really don't have much for her at the moment. We could even, you know, once Toongale's done the observatory, we could make, you know what, we could make some mummies to help her out. Yeah, you know what, I like that. These mummies are fairly decent. We could do a mummy and a mystic or something like that. So, yeah, you know what, let's kind of regroup a little bit with our druid. We don't want to, you know, overextend and end up losing the hero and her army. So we will kind of run back and then regroup at the city. That's going to be the plan there. Again, we've already moved Ramhotep. So then if we head down, we can finish up solidifying our stack that's going to sit on the seal. Hopefully that's strong enough. And then Jafsar can head down this direction and go up through the cave exit. And of course, we're still working on the Sabertooth Chariot. So actually, I'm going to move that unit off of camping just so that if I forget when I make that unit, it won't be just sitting there forever. All right, now this little lost soul can head up this way. And there we've made... contact with what appears to be a Fey dwelling. They want open borders and a peace treaty. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to even bother trying to attack them. Suppose I could accept it. Yeah, why not? Yeah, sure, let me know. I could even make them a vassal if I really wanted, I guess. In the meantime, I'll just kind of head around and keep scouting that way. And then with my tiger, I can take a peek at what's going on over here. There is some mana for me to grab as well. So this little guy can do a little bit more scouting as well. So let's head up this road. Let's see what else we find. Okay, so yeah, we'll just keep heading that way until we run into one of our opponents, hopefully. Let's just pan around to the rest of our units here. I think that's pretty much everybody, and we have to decide what to do with the hero. As I mentioned, I think we'll send the hero underground. That's probably going to be... You know, there actually are a decent number of structures and a tomb up here that do need to be cleared out. Not to mention there's a dungeon over here. We never did kind of fully explore this top corner of the map either, so it's also possible we could just start building a stack for Sheila here. Now we actually have the capability to make mummies and reanimators in the Throne City, so you know, I don't hate that, actually. That's not bad at all. So anyway, we'll think about that. You know what? That's a good question to leave this episode on. So what do you guys think I should do with my new sorcerer hero? Should I send the hero underground to kind of join up with the armies that I have underground, like, for example, with this stack that are kind of doing some clearing down here? We've cleared out some of the ancient ruins and whatnot, but there's still lots of structures here, spawning structures and other things to raid that could give us additional resources and kind of secure our hold on this corner of the map. Alternatively, very rapidly, I could build myself a pretty decent stack for the hero using the mummy and the reanimator. Not to mention, I think I don't have any sun guards that I can make, but between the mummies and the mystic and the reanimator, I should be able to make a pretty decent stack. So let me know what you guys think. I'm curious as to what you guys will come up with, because I'm kind of torn, you know. I'm not entirely sure. So that's where we'll leave it. Zoom out. So yeah, we're making progress, at least on the vision of the surface, and I think we've done a reasonable job here of exploring most of the underground as well. So the big question now is just going to be, where are our opponents? Are they in the Shadow Realm? Are they on the surface? Where are we going to encounter them? We'll save this one as episode 9. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one.